Hello everyone, this is Yanos Makula for Spellbinder's Paper Arts, and in this video I'd like to invite you to turn your weight die cuts into colorful elements for a beautiful underwater card using the all-new Spellbinder's Prizm die cutting and embossing machine. I will also be using the seahorse and sand dollar dies, as well as some foliage dies from the label and accent set. Before we do any die cutting today, we need to create a colorful background for our die cuts. I have two pieces of watercolor paper, and one of them is going to be a background, and the other one will be used to die cut the elements from. So I'm going to quickly show you how to create a colorful background here. I'm using several colors of distress inks, and I'm blending the colors heavily onto my watercolor paper. I'm making sure they overlap and produce new colors for my project. The background for the die cuts to sit on will be created in a similar way, but it's going to be a lot less vibrant. Next, I'm going to add drops of water over this piece to create beautiful and unique effects. I'm using a paintbrush and clear water and just adding droplets onto the background. You can add as many or as few as you like, and then set this aside and let the water do the work. Next, use a rag to soak up any excess water, and add some more water if you want, and then dry your background with a heat tool. Now that our backgrounds are ready, and you can see I have a darker one and a lighter one, go ahead and use the darker one to die cut the elements for your card from. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be using the all-new Prizm die cutting and embossing machine that is going to be released in June 2016. Prizm is a you-can-do-it machine. It's very cute, it's affordable, and it's very simple to use. And you can create all sorts of projects from scrapbooking pages to cards and mini albums, gift tags, and a lot more with the help of this tool. So to begin using your machine, set it on a clean, flat work surface and engage the suction base by turning the lever. Next, open the flaps on both front and back of the machine. Now, Prizm comes with several plates and an embossing mat, and you will need all of these to either cut or emboss your designs. I'm going to go ahead and die cut the seahorse, the sand dollar, and the little foliage for my card. I've taped the die cuts to the background using washi tape. I've placed the paper onto the C cutting plate. My dies are facing cutting edge down, and now to complete my cutting sandwich, I'm going to cover it with an A base plate and then send through the Prizm to cut. If you have trouble cutting all of these elements at once, you can also try to cut them one at a time. Remember to also emboss your dies using the embossing sandwich. So go ahead and place the dies with the die cuts still inside onto the A base plate. Make sure the dies are facing cutting edge up, cover with an embossing mat and then with an embossing plate, and send through the machine to emboss. Now with Spellbinder's dies, you can not only cut and emboss, you can also stencil through the dies to add additional detail. I'm going to place the dies back onto my die cuts and use the same inks and ink blending tool and stencil through the open areas to add more detail to my elements. You can lift up the die and see if you need to add more ink, and then just place it back onto the die cut and continue stenciling. I'm going to add the same detail to the rest of my die cuts to help them pop. Finally, what I like to do when I'm working with underwater type images, or if I want my card to have a magical look and feel to it, I like to heat emboss my die cuts with clear embossing powder with a mix of clear glitter. Here I'm using clear embossing ink in a bottle and just adding a layer of the sticky ink onto every die cut. Next, I'm going to pick it up with tweezers, add embossing powder, and heat set it with a heat tool to add that one last touch to this die cut. And here you can take a closer look. You can't even tell that this was die cut out of white cardstock. It has a lot of beautiful color and texture, and that glossy, glittery shine on top is just gorgeous. So go ahead and heat emboss the rest of the elements. It's time to put our card together. I'm going to arrange the die cuts onto the other watercolor background, and I'm going to alter the foliage die cut and trim a part of it off to make it better fit on my card. You'll also need to heat emboss a sentiment, and I chose to use Wishing You Oceans of Joy. I heat embossed it in white. Next, go ahead and foam mount your die cuts on top and adhere the panel onto the A2 card base. And here's another look at our project created using Spellbinder's Prizm die cutting and embossing machine. Be sure to check out other video tutorials on our channel for more ideas and lots more inspiration. If you have any questions about this project, please leave them in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to Spellbinder's YouTube channel for more education and inspiration. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!